Okay, so it looks so dark. I had to go tweak something again, and I was looking closer at the source material of the actual car, GTI, and noticed that underneath the grille in the center between the headlights, the body color actually comes up right under the grille. Um, I wasn't sure if it was that or was it just like, sometimes the grille has like a red outline around the edge on some of the GTI models. Um, and I was wondering if that was it, but then I looked at like something that would stand out more, like a white GTI, and I noticed that the white body like color came up right, like there's a little edge of it right underneath. So it should look something, well, in this case, it's red because the body's red. But I figured, yeah, why not? So I just carefully, my X-Acto knife and a little bit of extra red adhesive vinyl that I had from doing the hood the other day, yesterday. I decided, you know what, let me give it a try because that is the look. Because what I liked about the GTIs, the way the headlights are, and it's really cool when you have the inner, you have the four headlights with the inner ones are basically high beams, I believe, and they're a little bit smaller and they're raised higher, and this slips right under it. So just trying to knock out any dust that might be in there. Hang on, let me just see if that's. Let's remove that. And so if I put this in here, yeah, like that, it should look something like that. If anything, there should be, actually that line does technically continue on the other side, like a little bit of it. If you look at the GTIs, the red body, like just right on the side of the bottom edge, you see that continue. But when you put this down, it just looks a little bit more aggressive. Oh, let me see if I can show it off there. Just temporarily push this down like that. I'll brighten up. And so, yeah, it just looks more appropriate. Like these should be just, it makes it look a little bit bigger because it falls outside of that body line, body panel, I guess. And yeah, and then what's cool sometimes is that they have like an upper kind of lip spoiler or whatever you want to call it. It's not even really that. It's just a cosmetic thing where it just adds a little bit. It tightens up this grill line a little bit because it adds like an extra line of body color, and it covers up. It can cover up like the top of the headlights, and so it makes it look a little bit more like aggressive. Like, let me see if I can simulate it, kind of like that, if you know what I mean. It's like it's just, it doesn't stick out that far, but it just adds a little bit of like an eyelid and make it look like it's squinting a bit, I guess. It's a little more aggressive, and then but then it doesn't necessarily cover the other ones and the inside. They like it kind of out cuts. Those are cut out, and so it shows through that, and it's pretty interesting. But anyways, what I'm gonna do also is I'm just gonna add a little bit of white Elmer's glue to the back here now, since this is done. I don't plan to. I hope I don't. I don't expect to need to do anything else after this, but that's why I'm using white Elmer's glue. One, it dries clear. Secondly, it's just, hold on. It's basically this stuff here, school stuff you see at school, but it works really well for clear parts, especially. That's a little trick that I learned. I forgot from where. I think it was from my art school when we are doing kit bashing, and we get. That was fun. It's like being like kind of like a miniature old school ILM like workshop where you could just bash up kits and or mold. Or maybe you can make it out of you can sculpt it too. But the thing it was a kit bashing class where you just took model kits and you cut them up and you sand them or you do what you need to do to build up another vehicle or whatever you want to build out of it. It's really cool. And it's that was just a class that you could do that in. That was fun, and I came up with a couple of things. I don't. I should show that off sometime. But anyways, one of the tricks to, when you glue clear pieces, what you got to worry about is, especially, you don't want to use stuff like crazy glue. Certain glues that give off a particular fume, and then they tends to may fog up the clear parts, especially even solid parts. If there's fingerprints or something on there where the fumes kind of adhere to it, you might start to see like a bit of dullness or hazing from that. Um, but it's more obvious on clear pieces, and you don't want that to happen. So you use Elmer's glue. It's this uh, put it into the seam where you need it to help bond or stick the piece in place, and it dries with a thin layer because you really don't need that much. It dries relatively quick, and actually it is surprisingly strong once it actually cures. I never thought so. For some reason, I said, "Oh, this is just like arts and crafts glue at school," and you use this to make things, glue popsicle sticks and construction paper things, and cotton balls or googly eyes, or these are just things I remember like using, trying to glue things together. But you'd end up using too much, and it's not something that holds its place that well. Like when you need something to hold a certain location, you kind of need to hold it in place for a while. This is not good. It's not really that fast drying. But if you do have a piece that just sets into position without actually needing to hold it, then it's fine. And you just let it do its thing. And once it dries, it actually dries pretty solid. I've never had any issues with it holding the piece that I needed, provided I put enough of it. And it dries pretty clear too. Yeah, it starts off white, but it then ends up drying clear. And it's not really permanent, so that's why I would use a little dab of it just on like the studs here, so I can mount this onto it. And because these 3D custom pieces are just a tiny bit loose, they can shift around, and I just wanted to hold in place and not have to worry about it. And so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Just add just a little dab on here, maybe these three, just so it just enough to hold it in place and let it dry, and that'll be that. And let me just show you how this thing will look like. I did sort of show you how it looks like with the hood on, but once it's really put on, and we'll get a cleaner look at it. And yep, just an FYI, I just used a toothpick to get some of this, and I just dabbed it just like a little bit, like that. And then I'm gonna hang on. And so there we go. And just put it on. Make sure it's actually flat, because it tends to wobble a little bit right now, but I think that looks about right. And I'm gonna just let that set for a little bit before I try to attempt to put the hood back on, because when I press it, it may make contact and shift it a little bit, and I think I just want to let it be for now. And I'll come back in about an hour and put the hood back on. I'm not going to glue that on, of course. Just set it back, and look at the way this looks like after it's all put together with this piece. It's kind of subtle, but it does help out, I think. Anyways, all right. Got the hood back on. The glue's dried on the grill, just to set it in place, and it's looking good. I think this is working out pretty well. It looks a lot better than when it, as it came from as a kit. Just a couple, just not just a couple. I did quite a few tweaks to make it my own, and I think just improve and make it just that little bit more accurate. Let's see, I can't show it now. I guess I don't want to pull off the roof, but I've shown it. Let's see, so far let's do a count. The seats in back, I added, they were a bit rounded. Again, it's looked like one large seat in the center, instead of like two joined, and it just didn't spread out all the way to the edge. So there's that. The dash Probably can't see it, but I added a couple of bricks and just widened it just to make it look more full and closer to how a GTI dash might look like. It's not 100%, but it's closer. And that's all I can ask for. You can't really see it much anyways. So that's two. Third, I mean, there are two parts, but these are two collectively together. Just added those red corner plates, right, to the inside instead of using the black, but I kept the black piece on the inside, as you can kind of see here. And number 4, the window tint. Yeah, just took off the black thing that they gave us, and with all the grill pieces, it was okay at the time, but I always wanted this to not be solid, and so I just got these transparent brown pieces, which is, it's not that brown, it's just like a smoky color actually, which matches the front windshield that came with the kit. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. And the tail lights, instead of all amber, they are now red with the white or clear on top. So that's, I think, 5. Well, they want me to do something with either the stock. This is a mix of the stock rear aero kit, I guess that would be on the bottom, and the fixed up one. And I just decided to keep the extra, make it like a dual exhaust or quad exhaust on this. I think that looks a little more aggressive and cool instead of just this, but the rest of this is basically a stock bumper. So that's 6. I lost count. You can just count with me. Going along here, the fenders were black, or the wheel arches, and I got some red ones to match, and I kind of like it more. I like both, but I like to have it look more body color. It just adds to it and makes the body look wider, and it just kind of brings part of the body with it, obviously, because it's body color matched. So there's that, and then to better fill out the spacing there, I just took a little screwdriver and just twisted it to just gently help push the tires out a bit, and so it just has a little bit of poke. It just fills it out, and it's just a little less. It wasn't too bad the way it was. It's just a little bit inset, but not too bad. It's actually pretty close to the edge, but I pushed it out just enough so that you can see it's just past the fender line, as if if you get your wrap tires well, as you get like a smaller, it's a terminology, but it's basically stretch tires. Yeah, gives it a kind of stretch tire look. And I made just basically flip the front bottom bumper piece upside down. I mean, because these are again, the air kit's too big. I didn't use it. I kept it stock on the side, and I just flipped these around. These were basically, just flip those around and move this over from here to there, and vice versa, and just to give it a more aggressive front end. Makes it look lower and just kind of jutting out forward. It just looks more aggressive. What else? And the other thing was primarily around the hood, adding some red decals right across the top. It's very subtle, but it's just enough. I just wanted to show that, how the actual GTIs are Golfs. They actually have like it's not completely flat. It should have these parts are a little bit more raised to go back off, pretty much in line with the headlights, and then this part would be slightly lower, which it basically is, but because it's just a sticker here, it's not as dramatic, but I just wanted to do something to just kind of show that differentiation. You can see better in real life, like in person, than probably the cameras showing it. I also added like these hood lines, I guess, basically to to sort of show that this is where the hood would open up from. It would separate for what the black line is. We didn't have that. It was, again, all red across, which looked a little plain and just kind of lacked that little extra detail. And I got the grill piece. It's a custom piece from, where is this place? House? Is it, was it House of Bricks? No, no, no. It was a Bricky Prince. That was it. And I had to just wet sand it. Sorry about the focus. Wet, it's catching the reflection. Wet sand it just to, because it was a little bit uneven or blotchy in the finish, because it basically came fresh off the, I guess, a 3D printer, and it leaves some weird artifacts. And just a little bit of wet sanding smoothed that out and evened it, and also made it a more matte finish, which I personally like. I think it looks a little bit more meaner and aggressive with a, it's more in business instead of leaving it glossy. And then recently I added this red stripe to the bottom of it, just to make it look even closer to what like a actual GTI would have. Like the body color actually comes up on the bottom of the grill, and a little bit on the side of the headlights, but you know, this doesn't have really room for that, but it would have a little something there if it did. But I think for the most part that does the job. And then I added a little bit of gray decals I cut out as well here as like the front turn signals, but they're supposed to be like representing them as like kind of like a smoke clear signal. And I think that looks about right. It's pretty close to the, it's very close to the edge, but I didn't want it to wrap around this rounded bit here. It's you know, this isn't the right curvature. It should be probably much tighter radius than this, almost like a right angle, but it is what it is, so that's fine. I think that still works, and I think that's it. Yeah, I'm glad that this thing comes kind of lowered already, so I didn't have to do any custom modeling just to make it look dropped and kind of ground it like how I would like it. So that was nice. And overall, I think that looks pretty good. And oh, I forgot to add in last minute thing. I moved the other mod that I did was, this used to be one stud back, which didn't look good or correct. It should just be, yeah, made this window too small, and then also it's too far away from the door handle. And this should be right. These should almost be the same size windows, and this just looks more in correct position. I guess that's the B pillar. Yeah, just wanted to add that in because I forgot to just call that out in my list of mods that I did on this thing. Those little changes. Lastly, after building this, just adding the lights inside here, which are, these are double-sided, these are like replaceable, disposable little LED lights. They have batteries inside them, and you just flip that switch and they turn on. And I just had this double stick side tape on the other side that they come with. I just have them stuck onto a 2x2 tile, you know, smooth, and as a mounting base, so then I can stick it onto the inside of this container. And if I wanted to, because it gets pretty dark in here, it'll illuminate it. And let me put it in there and show you too, and I guess we'll finish off with that. Just a quick look as basically how it would look like once it's inside. You can see it, but obviously it's pretty dark, and it depends on where the light's coming in from, but still, you really have to have the light coming in directly from the side, right, to even start to see it better. But then lots of it's kind of lost in the shadows. Now, check this out. When I'm gonna need both hands. Hang on. I'm gonna open this up and turn on the lights. So I got them on. And if I close this, there you go. At least you can see it better, especially the front, which is important. So there's two things that they give you. There's like a plaque with the little somewhere in here with a little image of the the GTI, just like how it looks like on front of the instructions, just like a small one, which I don't really need a small picture of it because one, I mean, you see it here, I don't need a little tiny picture of it inside here, as well as the black green here. It just would be an extra piece that would just cover up this corner, and you even it's very hard to see the front anyways, but you'd see it even harder, less than with that in the way. So I left that out. And then also there's this black piece that goes across the bottom, and it's supposed to clip on or snap onto a little stud that you put on the bottom of this container, this display case, so that you can hold it in place. But because the car's low, and it just basically adds a little bit of thickness, and the car won't sit flat, so it'll be kind of tilted or off the ground, which is kind of stupid. So I left that out. So yeah, if I pick this up, it could roll around, but it shouldn't really go anywhere. Just carefully pick it up. Otherwise, the floor has these kind of grooves, and the wheels kind of grip onto those, I guess. So they shouldn't like slide or move around much unless I really, angle or tilt it. And yeah, but yeah. See, now you can see all the way, the tips, all the details. I guess I could make it even more even across if I added, there's just 3 lights, right? You can see if I added 5 of them in between, I think I'd do that. Then I'd probably do more, but I don't think I really want to put that many lights in there. I mean, I could have a lot of extras of these, but it's not like I really plan to leave it in here with this on all the time. It's just sometimes maybe, yeah, I might want to just check it out in here without taking the whole car out, and I guess getting some illumination. And this is fine. So that's it. I think this was pretty cool. I think, again, I got this from Barweir, and it came pretty fast. And I would say I definitely would recommend somebody that's into cars, and especially Volkswagen, such as these, into hot hatches. It's kind of neat how the other side can actually open too. But and there you go. You can see that from there. It's kind of cool, and you can just drive it out. But yeah, I think overall, as it comes, it's actually not too bad. It does the job and looks what it's supposed to. But there definitely could be some refinements, as I've shown and I've done on here, to just make it that much, I think, closer and better looking. And yeah, it's doesn't take that much, and it's pretty easy to just modify, and again, like I showed you, to just make it just update the looks of it. And yeah, that's about it. I think if I ever get the time to mess around and build another one, because this would be kind of cool too. Although I don't know where I get another set of wheels. I do like these BBS wheels, the mesh style of wheels. But it'd be nice to see this in another color, like white or black even, or yellow, any other color. White comes to mind because I have a white GTI, and I think this kind of shape and everything look pretty good too. I don't know. I think you should be able to get most of these parts in from Bricklink as whatever equivalent Lego parts they're supposed to be, and build it up. Maybe get a second one of these and just keep some of the parts. So wouldn't have to do everything, like the interior or the wheels and the engine bay. Mostly the exterior is the part that I would redo in potentially a second color. But I'm happy with this. I got definitely a lot of other projects to do, and I just brought this back. This has been out for a while. Maybe I'll do a quick review on it, because I don't think I ever did one, surprisingly. But I just want to add some blue stripes down here just to simulate the window frame, and that's basically it. I'm not going to do much else. I would like to get some custom Blade Runner minifigs, but only one place I know that has it, and I think they're in England or UK, and they seem a bit pricey. I'll think about it. And I got the Technic kit here. It's not new, it's probably at least a year old, but this is a Koenigsegg. Yeah, and this is special. They come in two colors. The gray one's the more typical one you can find still at Target and wherever else, but the white one, from what I understand, it's a Barnes & Noble exclusive variant color, and that's where actually I got this. And plus my Barnes & Noble discount 10%. Oh yeah, I got this Normandy down here, which I really should build. I'm just talking about brick built stuff. And then with Mando here, I have since Lego just had a 2x reward, I picked up the Cobb Vanth, and I was going to wait till he was on sale, but I said screw it, just pick it up. I'm going to put him in a little, with Mando in a little mini display that simulates one of the scenes, not maybe 100%, but as close as possible to one of the scenes seen with them together riding their speeder bikes on, I believe, on Tatooine. So I'm looking forward to getting that just shipped. And I also picked up the Back to the Future DeLorean, which I actually did pre-order back in October, but well, I don't know, somehow it got screwed up, the ordering. They canceled it, but anyways, no big deal. They'll have plenty of them, and I think that will be out too. So yeah, I got those to build. I really need to finish this mod. It's basically done. I think I like where it's at. Again, this started out with one thing, and then I started modding it more to just, again, correct some of the details and make it better. I think there should be something along the bottom to extend and add just a little bit of detail on the very underside, and it's this long part. Otherwise, I like most of what I've done here. That it wasn't like this before. Like, a lot of work was done kind of around the engine area, and especially this area here, and a little bit of work up here, especially the cannons. I'm pretty happy with those, the way those turned out. It took me a while to find something that would look close to the twin kind of cannons that it has on the front of the bridge. And I gotta work on a stand to actually hold it on. Right now it's just balancing on the back and just kind of resting on this. It's not really even attached. So lots of projects. Oh, this thing, just need to get a stand for it. There's only one that looks good, but it's got mixed reviews. It's made out of acrylic and it's clear, but some people say it's hard to put together, and others also say that it's a bit fragile and easy to break. Anyways, as far as this is concerned, I believe I should be able to finally call this one done. So thanks for watching, and just keeping up with this. I know it's been a long thing that I've been kind of dragging out, but I just wanted to document the thought processes and you know, the ideas and how I'm trying to implement them, and you know, it may be of interest to some people. If not, whatever. This is just something I'd like to do, and just wanted to share. So thanks for, again, checking it out, and we'll see you in the next one.